Okay, we are live and in the building. Here we go. We're live, and you know what? Just because I want to. It's a Monday. I don't think I've ever. It's been a while. I wouldn't say it's been a while since I've gone live, but I don't know if I've gone live on a Monday. So we're gonna do it, guys. We're going live and in the building. Let's go. Um, So yeah, man, I just wanted to go live. I was gonna do a pre-recorded video of this because by the way, I have a new YouTube opener. Kind of went classic with my old school theme, the music. So I got a new YouTube opener, so you guys will be able to see that soon. Just a little quick fun fact for you. Um, and you'll be able to see that with future videos that I'll have coming out. So I was gonna do a pre-recorded video talking about this exact topic that we're getting into today, but I was like, man, there's just so much that's kind of already been out, and that's already out there, and it's just I kind of wanted to do a free discussion, free time to just talk about it and hang out with you guys. So get on in here, let's hang out. We're talking about what happens next in the Power Rangers comics because there's a lot, man. There's a lot going on. A lot of big stuff to be excited for. I've talked multiple times about, the new Green Ranger, who, as I said before, I feel like it's definitely going to be Lord Draken at this point. I said that from day one. Seraph, hey, welcome in. Thanks for watching. I appreciate all your support, dude. I'm watching all the other videos and commenting. You and my boy Hyperboy Blue, and there's a few that are like my day ones. Only 256. I think that's his name. That's on here too. There's like my day ones who are my usuals who are always showing up and supporting the channel. So I definitely appreciate y'all, man. You guys rock. Seriously, the channel wouldn't be where it is right now and growing if it wasn't for you guys' help and your consistency. So appreciate all the love, man. I really do. So, yeah, a lot of big stuff happening with the comics. Like I said, we have this new mysterious Green Ranger, like I said, who at this point we can all pretty much agree it's definitely Lord Draken. Um, and before I get into, the topics of the comics themselves, talking about Draken, I know some people are like a little upset because they're like, well, hey, it takes away from the villain aspect of that character. Not necessarily, not at all. And even if you look at something that Grace Sterling said in one of the recent comics when they were discussing about how they could, use this power coin, the Green Ranger power coin that they restored, in case the Rangers need help for what's to come. And she said, yes, Draken would be one of the most obvious candidates. And Billy was like, are you insane? Draken, the dude who shattered the grid? Why would we even consider giving him power again at all? And she's like, he's not necessarily bad, not completely evil. He's just complex. And I think that's something to keep, our minds on when we think about that character, when we think about characters in general. And we're so quick to call a person a villain. We're so quick to call a person this, that, or a hero. But, in his mind, maybe he's not really a villain. Again, he's just complex. And what he's doing, he believes is right. He believes is, what's going to set the world right, what's going to make things better. And is that twisted? Does it flawed? Yes. Does that make him completely bad? Maybe he's just misguided, and maybe there's some room for redemption for him, or, he's just going to have to be heavily monitored, which I think is going to be the case for when he becomes this new Green Ranger. Yes, he has power, but I don't think he's just going to willingly just be a team player. I think he's going to have to do it at a cost of being kind of on a leash in a sense. Like, yeah, he's the new Green Ranger, but he's definitely being monitored and controlled, so to speak, which I think that's something that we can definitely keep our eyes on when we get, further into this new story arc. So again, for any of you who are upset and like, oh my God, Tommy Oliver, blah, 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 Lord Draken, now they're making him a new Green Ranger. He's going to be a good guy. I don't think so. I think he's just complex. And that's something that we can be excited for when we're digging into this new story arc, is like, Yeah, there's other things. The characters have to change. The character has to evolve. Because I'm like, even after Shattered Grid, it was one of those things like, well, what do you do next? What else can you do with that character? And I think this is a smart thing to do. Go back to his roots. He, became Lord Draken. He shattered the grid. He did a bunch of crazy stuff in his world and in the present, universe. So now he has to learn how to be a Power Ranger. He wasn't really a Power Ranger before. So now he has to learn how to be that. And I think that's going to be an interesting aspect as we get into this next story arc. So now, talking about the new story arc, I'm excited, man, because, we have two story arcs that are coinciding with each other. You have Mighty Morphin, which, again, features, Lord Draken, as we can pretty much assume, as the new Green Ranger with Tommy and the rest of the Rangers, right? And then you also have the Omega Rangers, who I hear rumors that Draken will be, helping them out as well. Even if he learns, it wouldn't be hard for him to get along with the others. I think it will be hard. And if you guys paid attention to the last few issues, Tommy Oliver, White Ranger Tommy Oliver, he doesn't want anything to do with Lord Draken. He's like, if I come near that dude, I'm pretty much gonna dock him in his face. Like, I don't want anything to do with that guy. So he seems to be very resistant in terms of even approaching that guy in general. And it's an alternate evil version of himself. And he's like, I don't want anything to do with him because of everything that he's done. You know what I mean? Like, I think I would just snap on that guy. That's kind of where Tommy is right now. So I think that definitely, there's gonna be some tension. There's gonna be a moment, guarantee it, where Tommy is gonna have to have that one-on-one conversation with Lord Draken and kind of, I don't know if he's going to have grace with him or if he's going to settle the beef or if they're going to fight each other and then, make up afterwards. I don't know. But there's going to be a moment where they have to have conflict, resolved. And I think that's going to make for, an interesting moment within the comics. And I can't wait to talk about it when we see it. So I don't think they're going to be buddy-buddy necessarily. But I think, they're, because of what's coming, because there's some major threat coming. It's like, look, Lord Draken is the last resort. We need him. He's like, come on. He's the dude that shattered the grid. So if we can kind of put him on a leash and use him on our side, think of it like the Hulk, for instance. If Hulk kind of just rages out, but it's the Hulk. We got a Hulk. You know what I mean? That's going to be a great asset to this major Thanos type of threat that's coming to Angel Grove. You know what I mean? And I think that's kind of how they're going to look at treating Draken, as like, he's kind of like our Hulk type of character. You know what I mean? So I'm interested to see how that all goes down, and kind of how his interaction will be with the rest of the Rangers. And maybe morphing, will kind of change his cuckoo-ness. Because right now he seems a little delusional and kind of like, he seems a little crazy, you know what I mean? Talking to the, Saber that he broke off and just talking to himself and mumbling different things. And whatever's coming must be monumentous and crazy and scary. So I can't wait to see. I'm kind of stoked to see what's going to happen next. So again, you have Mighty Morphin, and then you have Power Rangers that features the Omega Rangers. And, I'm just excited for both of these story arcs, man, to see what's going to happen next. Now, here's the thing. Of course, we all know that they're going to milk out, Mighty Morphin for as long as they freaking can. Like, it's the money maker. You know what I mean? That's what it is. We get it with the toys. We get it with the merchandise. We get it with the comics. Like, Mighty Morphin is a household name, and around the world, everybody recognizes Mighty Morphin. So, of course, Hasbro, Boom Studios, they're going to milk that out for as long as they can. Now, in my brain, I'm thinking about, okay, well, if we're looking at seasons, yes, we do have Mighty Morphin, but at some point, we're going to have to start implementing things about Zeo, and implementing things about Turbo going forward. Not to say we're going to get anywhere near that anytime soon. Because, again, with comics, you can milk out, a story arc and a certain moment in time for as long as you want to. You know what I mean? And I think that's what they're going to do, with the Mighty Morphin, season per se. You know what I mean? But when I start mentioning things about Zeo, is I look at the Omega Rangers, and I have to say, well, eventually, Jason Lee Scott, he does become the Gold Ranger, after Trey, Triforia, after they, aren't able, to morph. Hey, Texas Spidey. What's up, dude? Thanks for tuning in. We're talking about all Power Ranger stuff, as usual. You see me on TikTok, and that's what I do there, too. So, all Power Rangers love, man. Thanks for tuning in. So, with that, in my brain, as I think about, like, okay, what can we expect next? I'm assuming and I'm hoping that we'll get little seeds here and there where we see things, leading into Zeo, leading into those moments. Figuring out, like, what the hell was Jason up to when we didn't see him during that time period? Was he still doing his Omega stuff? Do they lose their Omega powers, when Zeo kind of comes into the picture? What happens to the Omega Rangers, like in the end type of a thing, you know what I mean? And I know we have a while. These are questions that I'm asking, but when I think about what's going to happen next, with the Power Ranger comics, that's one thing, that comes to my mind is like, okay, well, when we think about other seasons, what ultimately is going to happen in the end to these teams, you know what I mean, and these characters. And then even broader, you know what I mean, if you guys read, let me see, I think I have it, pulling out my, comic book collection. I have lots of graphic novels. And I don't know if I can find it. I don't know if I have it on me right now. I thought it was in close proximity, but apparently it's not. Apparently it is not. Is that it? No, that's not it. If you guys read Power Rangers Pink, it features, the Pink Ranger, Kimberly, and kind of like what she did when she left Angel Grove, when she broke up with Tommy. It kind of talks about, like, that moment for her. And then you also have Zach and Trini that come back in that graphic novel, and they, reprise their roles as Black and Yellow Ranger, but it's all under the Pink Ranger's power, so they have their suits are a little bit different too. So, it's all of those. When I think about that and that being canon to the Boom Studios story with Power Rangers, it's like, all right, so when, these moments, as we look towards the future, what happens to the Omega Rangers' powers? Like, something must happen to where they no longer have that power, or they, maybe they no longer need it, or maybe they just have it on standstill for other galactic missions. Maybe they still do have it. I don't know. But these are things as I think about, like, oh yeah, Power Rangers Pink, and then we also have Zeo. So all these other things and these little moments that we can expect, what are little seeds that we're going to see sprinkled into Mighty Morphin and the Power Rangers, storylines. So that's something that I'm thinking about when, we have these comics coming out in November. So I can't wait. I'm excited to see those little tiny Easter eggs, if we see any of that stuff, which I'm sure we will. Boom Studios is, fantastic at, giving us lots of fan service. So yeah, man, that's kind of what's on my mind is like, wow, there is a lot to be excited for and to think about, with these Power Ranger comic books. I would love to hear from you guys. What are some of your questions? And if you haven't already, I'll always review the comics. So, whenever we have, monthly releases of the comic books, you can guarantee that weekend I will have a comic book review, for you guys. That'll be up on the channel. So I can't wait. Next month, number 50, that's probably when we'll see, is it 50 or is it 55? Oh, God, I can't remember. It's either like 55, I think that's the issue, where we'll see Draken become the new Green Ranger. And no worries. Thank you for tuning in. You got to go, you got to go. When you got to go, you got to go. But thank you for tuning in. Much love. And I'll probably go live on TikTok after this, just, connecting with folks on there. So if you're on TikTok, you can hang out with me there after this. But that's pretty much it, guys, man. I'm excited to see what's going to happen next with these comics. Lots of big stuff. So if you have questions, you can post them here, now, or you can post it after this uploads onto the channel, and I'll try to answer as best as I can. But yeah, man. Oh, yeah, you don't have TikTok? It's okay. It's all right. I will see you on the next video, my friend. Seraph the Hufflepuff, Thank you for tuning in. Much love. Uh, so yeah, lots of big stuff again, guys, coming for the Power Rangers comics, um, and even for the TV show. You know what I mean? Like we got Dino Fury, and Beast Morphers is killing it. I'm enjoying Beast Morphers. I like it, and I have the cosplay and all that good jazz. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to talk about what to expect and kind of just things that I'm thinking about going forward. Like, man, I know we're probably going to be in Mighty Morphin for a while, but it is going to be fun. And again, it's not just Mighty Morphin that we have. Other graphic novels, they've been good at doing that for us too. Like we got the In Space, Psychopath. I did a review on that, and then Time Force. They have that graphic novel that's coming out, which is also amazing that they're going to be featuring some stuff for Hyperforce. So if there's any Hyperforce fans out there, if you love that whole series that they did on YouTube with, Andre Blackner comedy, he was the Blue Ranger in that. Then you're gonna get some good stuff for this new graphic novel that's coming out. So I think we get to see some of their origins or whatnot, or something with them tied in there, which would be really interesting. Top game stuff. I never really got into that. That was never for me. But I love the idea of Power Rangers Hyperforce, and I love the characters, and I love that Andre's a Power Ranger. Like, that's freaking awesome. But yeah, I never really got into the RPG thing, so I never was able to watch every single episode. But, I knew of it. I seen clips of it, watched a little bit of it, but never, all of the full episodes or that entire 2 seasons that they had. So, but, hey, if you guys, like myself, love that idea and those characters, well, I'm sure that we'll be seeing more of that in the, Time Force graphic novel. So that's something else, that we have to look forward to. So, without further ado, that's pretty much it, y'all. Yeah, also, aside from that, all the comic stuff, I have a new skit series called The School Bully. So it's kind of just a fun, just comedic skit series that I created. And just talking about, my elementary through middle school, through high school life, and how Power Rangers was infiltrated in that, and how I dealt with school bullies, and just funny stuff that I'm sure a lot of people can relate with. So keep your eyes out for that. The first 2 episodes are up, so go and watch those. And that's pretty much it, y'all. Do I have anything else to say? Of course I do. It's Morphin time. Boom. Activate Beast Power. Much love, y'all, and I will see you on TikTok.